I don't like people who just stand around and watch.
Woo. Wow.
People who are just watching you work are no good to you at all. I want somebody that has some dirt under their nails. I want somebody that says, how can I help?
Wow.
Transparently, when we talk about building your team, I've had to learn to be careful about who I engage because I'm an involved person. So when if I sit down with you and I'm saying, I want to help you get somewhere, I don't use I language, I use we language.
Wow.
How we gonna make this work?
Wow.
How we gonna make your business successful? Because if I'm on the team, I'm involved. The minute I sign myself up, and just being very blunt, Harry, some of this has been unpaid.
Ooh.
It ain't always been paid consultant or paid. A lot of times, I'm just meeting with people and they want to meet and I get excited about what they're doing. And I'm saying, well, how can we do this? Because I'm an involved person. Involved people have we language.
Welcome to another episode of the Build My Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Harry Dent III, joined as always by the bridge builder himself, Zach Brewster. Man, Zach, we cooking on this thing, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The oven is hot, so I want to warn people, man. You know, blow that food off before you get it, man. It might burn the roof of your mouth. But, yeah, man, a lot of hot topics, man. And I want to take a sidebar and thank all of our listeners. Everyone who shares this, everyone who follows us on YouTube. We're trying to get our followers up, so please help us. And if something resonates with you, shoot us a note. We want to hear it. And just being blunt, if something doesn't resonate with you and you have more questions about it, somebody texted me the other day and said, tell me more about this.
Yeah.
Reach out to us. Listen, we're engaging, but we truly believe that this content is helping people get to their destiny. That's our goal. So,
absolutely.
So what you got for us, Harry? It's your turn
amazing,
today.
Man. You know, I got a call from a friend of mine. He was talking about that episode where you saying they're not your friends. And it made me think about something, Zach, especially as we're continuing to progress on these journeys, man. You said something on the motivation one time that grabbed my attention. You talked about this idea of building your team.
Okay.
And I suggest that exactly how you said it, when you think about building your team, you talked about the fact that you need people who are inspired, that you need people who are informed, and that you need people who are involved. So I want to step deeper and really break that down on some of the things that you meant by that, and even just me right now, as I'm growing as an entrepreneur and we're steady building things out. You know, we got the videographers that we're hiring for certain projects. We got people that we're starting to contract, and we're looking for those key elements in people. So that person listening right now that feels like they don't need nobody, that they can do it all alone, but finally ran into the realization where a budget came that they didn't even expect, or a project started to come that's too large for them to do it themselves. How can they use those points to really get that good talent and also be that good talent for what they're looking to attract?
Yeah, I think, the first thing we talked about was being inspired. And I think you can't have someone on your team that doesn't share in an equal inspiration. So we talk about being inspired. It's this idea that we're inspired by the work. We're inspired by the vision. We're inspired by the mission. It's funny you bring this up. I was talking to a local pastor here who's about to plant a church. And he had all the questions about what you do to change church and all this kind of stuff. And my point to him was, hey, listen, the mission is everything. And so if we don't share in a joint mission, there is no joint inspiration.
Wow.
So I think what ends up happening is when I meet someone that I want on my team, we reverse the most important questions. So what we start asking is what and how. What are we going to do together? How are we going to work together?
Sure.
What are you going to pay me? How are we going to work together? We ask all those questions, and all those are pertinent questions.
Yeah.
But the question is, why? Simon Sinek, if you've never heard it, do yourself a favor. Go to YouTube. He has a book as well. Yeah. But his TED Talk is one of the most famous TED Talks ever. He says, start with why. And I'll never forget that because it changed my mindset. You have to start with why. Why are you here? If you think about this, Harry, one of the first conversations we had at coffee was why. Yeah. Why do we want to connect? Why do we want to? We didn't see a podcast coming. We just wanted to have the conversation first. Why are we connecting? Because whatever you want to accomplish and however you want to accomplish it and whenever you want to accomplish it, it's not going to work if I don't know why you're here. Because your why is what's going to keep us connected. My why is what's going to keep us inspired with each other. And so I think that's the whole point, that the reason that you are finding teammates that aren't connected with you and it's not working because you don't have the same mission, because you never ask each other why.
And I think that's so powerful, Zach, because even when you think about the work you probably do in HR, the company has to be a good fit for the employee, and the employee has to be a good fit for the company. And I believe that when we think about the inspired person, we have to stop being so transactional and start thinking from a transformational. Transactional being just really focused on the outcome, where transformational is focusing on the process of what we're going to create as we keep moving forward. So if we start with money, it's going to be a transactional thing anyway. But if we start with purpose and mission, then we start to realize that we can build something that we never even imagined. So just going back to our first conversation, we never knew a masterclass was going to come out of that. We didn't know a podcast was going to come out of it. And now we're even scaling bigger and thinking bigger about what we can do. So the inspired piece is very critical. Yeah. And I'm so glad that you touched and broke down on that.
Yeah, I think the informed piece is the next piece, because I'm always looking for people that have skills that I don't.
Wow.
And I think that's what we miss. We love people that are just like us. Oh, we think the same, we act the same, we like the same food. Yeah, but what are you sharpening with each other? What are you growing with each other? So, when we connected and we had these conversations and you started talking about podcasts, frankly, I tried to do a podcast years ago. Didn't go that well because I don't have the technological skills to do so. So my limitation met someone with a skill set, and now all of a sudden you got somebody connected with you that's informed. So it's like, I would love to do a podcast, but I don't know how to do these videos. I don't know how to make these reels. I don't know how to do that. So it kept me from doing so. But when you think about informed people, you need people that have skill sets that you don't. That's the best thing. You talk about my HR experience. The best thing I learned in hiring people, leading people, developing teams, transformational work is I want people that have skill sets that I don't. Because here's the other piece I'll add, and then I'll let you hop in. When you think about relationship, it should always be reciprocal.
Yes.
So the reason I want people to have skills that I don't have is so they can learn from me and I can learn from them. I want to learn from their skill sets. I want them to bring something to the table. This is a potluck.
Yeah.
I don't want people just coming to eat and taking to go place. I want a potluck on my team. What are you bringing to the table? And when I think about what people bring to the table, informed people who are informed about things that you're not are the best people to keep around you.
Yeah. Man, I love that so much because, I'm thinking about when you talk about how we love the people that is the same like us, that love the same things we do. Well, John Hope Bryan said that if you hang around 9 broke people, you're going to be number 10. So I thought about that, and I flipped that from a perspective of if you hang around 5 wealthy people, you'll be number 6. So when I started to realize that, and this is a thing that they always tell you to do as a leader, try everything, figure out what you don't like quickly, and delegate to other people who love to do those things. So for me, my life and my business started to change when I started to realize, okay, I don't like accounting. I know how to do it, but I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I definitely don't like taxes because I don't want to play with the IRS. So when I brought people in, shared my vision, my mission with them, they were able to connect with it, then people wanted to enhance what you was already doing. So there's people in your life, for those who are listening, who want to say, man, I want to scale. I want to get out of this place that I'm at. I want to connect with some informed people, but I don't know where to start recruiting talent. Find the people that will enhance what you're already doing. As every good speaker need in life, they got to have a videographer. They got to have a photographer. They got to have some sort of media person capturing this. Then they got to have a social media person. So it blessed me whenever I connected with somebody and they said, man, I see what you're doing and I love what you're doing, but I want to enhance that. And the way that I can do that is I want to be able to write you out a content calendar. I want to be able to schedule your social media. I want to be able to get your engagement. I want to go clean some of your followers up. And I'm like, man, ain't no way in the world I would have had the time to try to sit there and do that. So I'm saying all of that to really get people to lock into that informed piece, because you can't be afraid. Let me say this with boldness. You can't be afraid of somebody who knows more than you in that area that you don't know as much in. And as to your point of what you're saying is, you can grow together. The reason some people don't grow, Zach, is because they never hand it off. They're too busy trying to hold it in. My mom uses this analogy with me all the time. If you keep your fist closed, then nobody can put nothing into it. But the minute you open your hand, then people can start dropping the things in there. So keep those informed people, keep them inspired people. And Zach, this may be the one that's usually challenging for most people. Let's talk about the involved people.
Yeah, I don't like people who just stand around and watch.
Wow.
people who are just watching you work are no good to you at all. I want somebody that has some dirt under their nails. I want somebody that says, how can I help?
Wow.
Transparently, when we talk about building your team, I've had to learn to be careful about who I engage because I'm an involved person. So when if I sit down with you and I'm saying, I want to help you get somewhere, I don't use I language, I use we language.
Wow.
How we gonna make this work?
Wow.
How we gonna make your business successful? Because if I'm on the team, I'm involved. The minute I sign myself up, and just being very blunt, Harry, some of this has been unpaid.
Ooh.
It ain't always been paid consultant or paid. A lot of times, I'm just meeting with people and they want to meet and I get excited about what they're doing. And I'm saying, well, how can we do this? Because I'm an involved person. Involved people have we language. Involved people have us language. Involved people have language that say, hey, we're going to succeed. And so what ends up happening is when you get a person, be very careful when you get a person that wants to inspire you and inform you but doesn't want to get involved. Now, I'm going to say that again. Because those are the three words.
Yeah.
And all three need to be married for a good team member.
That's good.
I'm very careful of people who want to inspire me and inform me, but don't want to get involved with me.
Wow.
You can't be on the team. Listen, there are people that I'm inspired by, but they're not on my team because they don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
There are people that I've been informed by. Books inform you, but they don't want to be involved. A real team member is involved.
Wow.
That's the person that says, I'm showing up early, I'm staying late, I'm a part of the success. And you can't be a part of my success if you can't be a part of my sacrifice. Stop letting people in your life, I'm going to look at the camera and say this boldly. Stop letting people in your life that want to be a part of your success but not a part of your sacrifice. The sacrifice is the involvement. The sacrifice is the disappointment. The sacrifice is the heaviness.
Wow.
The sacrifice is the late night. So you can't be a part of my success if you don't want to be a part of my sacrifice.
That mic is hot over there. Zach, I want to help somebody, Zach. I'm listening to this. I'm getting motivated. I'm getting cranked up. But if I'm being transparent, there are times in my life where I've been too involved. Meaning somebody came to me with something. I got super excited. I got super engaged. And they stopped doing what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And they expected me to carry their idea out. They expected me to go get the money for them.
Yeah.
When do you know that you're too involved? And when do you know that you're under involved?
You know you're too involved when you want something more for someone than they want for themselves.
Wow. So
the minute that the project gets more exciting to me than it is to you, and I want it more than you do, then I have to let you get to your stopping point.
Wow.
Here's what happens, Harry. When you believe the best in people, what happens is, Harry, let's say you come to me and you say, man, I want to be a speaker, but in your mind, that means I just want to speak in Greenville. And I'm like, Harry, man, there's opportunity in Texas, there's opportunity in Dallas, there's opportunity in California. And then I started to realize, Harry doesn't want to travel. Harry is afraid of planes. Harry doesn't want to be away from his comfort zone.
Wow.
Then I have to let you be the Greenville speaker. Because it was your vision, not mine. I got more excited to try to push you further than you wanted to go. I got to let you be what you want to be. When I realize I am under involved, I'm going to flip this because I feel like I know why you were asking, but let me take it a step deeper. When I feel like I'm under involved, oftentimes it's because people got threatened by my involvement.
Ooh.
So you said you want to help, and see now let me go ahead and put the soapbox up because I'm about to get on it.
Wow.
I have had people, and actually done it more than once, and when I realized they were doing it, I started to learn how to pull back. They come to me with ideas as if they want me involved, but what they really want just to be informed and inspired. And when I try to get involved, they say they want my involvement until it starts to overshadow what they really thought, because they were married to their flaws. There are some people that are married to their flaws.
Wow.
So they come in with an idea and they say, help me.
Yeah.
What they're really saying is validate me.
Ooh.
You got to learn the difference between somebody that's saying help me and validate me.
You on fire.
And that's a lesson that I had to learn. Because I was like, man, I'm trying to help, and I'm looking at this and it doesn't make sense. And I'm looking at this and I'm not trying to knock them, I'm trying to help them. Like, I'm not out here talking about them. It's like, hey, you really want this to go well, you got to do A, B, and C. And I started to realize, wait, they didn't want help. They wanted validation. They wanted to bring me an idea that I would clap for, and so they didn't want the involvement. And so once I realized that the reason I'm being under involved is because they really don't want the help, then what I did was I started letting them tell me things and just listening. Okay, sometimes you just need a sounding board. I'll be a sounding board.
That's good.
Because I can't be involved if I can't make it better.
Man,
that's bottom line. I'm not going to be involved in anything that you want to allow me to make better. Because that means you don't want involvement. You just want information and inspiration. And I'm okay with that.
Man, I hope y'all picked something up from this, man. This was a powerful episode. And this is Build My Bridge. There are people who've been reaching out. There are people who've been asking me, hey, tell me a little bit more about Build My Bridge. 2025 is the year I'm about to make the investment in myself, because that's the best investment I can make in life. Build My Bridge is our opportunity to help you get inspired, to help you get informed, but you best believe that we got to be involved and seeing you build that bridge all the way through. Listen, there are some people who started Build My Bridge, they didn't realize the commitment it was, so they stopped building their bridge in the middle of it and they had to go all the way back to the beginning. And this is what we're here for. We're involved in that, knowing that if you don't stay on track for 27 days and get ready to present on your 28th day, we'll take you all the way back to day one and we'll walk you through it all over again, because that's what it's really about. And this is the time for you to build your bridge into your destiny. Zach, anything else on this one?
Great sign off, man. Thanks.